Or sneaky status. Actually, sneak.
A couple points. I don't know. I think he's just. I don't know if he's just like attacking what ifs because it's convenient at the time, but the term "throwing the baby out with the bathwater" I think applies here, because I think what if arguments are perfectly valid. I mean, philosophy and logic in particular makes very extensive use of what ifs. It's very important. Also, a very important way of testing philosophic consistency. For instance, if you come to be a pacifist, and I say, well, what if someone has a knife and they're coming to kill you, and you have a gun on you? That's a very important way to test your consistency philosophically. Or so you're a pacifist, but there's a woman who's about to be killed, but you can stop it because there's a gun next to you. What do? You see, they test your consistency to your beliefs. A famous one is like the test whether or not you're fully consistent in your moral views. Also, is like we talked about this in my class today. If there's a train, a runaway train, and there's a switch. If you don't pull the switch, 100 people die. If you pull the switch, 1 person dies. Okay, what if it's not a switch, but what if you throw a fat guy onto the train and it stops the train, and by stopping the train, only he dies rather than 100 people? And if you answer differently on these two scenarios, then you're inconsistent. So saying it's a fantasy doesn't work. It's just, I don't know. It's kind of ludicrous. It's kind of ridiculous to say that you can never use a what if. And I don't know. I think he's just being against what if because his opponents are using what ifs at the time. He's throwing the baby out with the bathwater, so to speak. And with the scientific method, isn't really the hypothesis stage a what if stage? You know, hypothesis. We're going to prove this. So, what if this happens? Will this happen? You know, it's just silly to be always against what if statements. It seems almost like I don't understand how you could be against all what if arguments. I don't know. Like, how can your brain work like that? I mean, the brain works through what if statements. So it just boggles the mind. It's sort of, I don't know. It's extremely illogical, in my opinion. It's very important what if arguments. Also, he made a straw man in the movie, and I don't know if he did it on purpose or if he's just not studying what he's arguing against. But the whole anti-racist is code for anti-white. He makes a straw man. He says, "Whoa, you mean like saying you shouldn't hate Puerto Ricans is another way to say it, you're just anti-white?" No, that's not what the argument is. I don't want to take a side on here. I just point out that it's a straw man, because what the argument is with the anti-racist and anti-white is they point out the real instances in which non-whites, under the color of anti-racism, are really just promoting their own race against whites. Pretty much like non-white racists, so like black racists, Latino racists, racists who aren't white, using anti-racism for the purpose of their own racism. So yeah, that's why when they say anti-racism is code for anti-white, they're not saying, you know, if someone says white people shouldn't hate on blacks because they're black, they're not saying, oh, that's code word for anti-white. What they're saying is anti-racism is used by racists of other races that aren't white for racist agendas against whites. So it's a complete straw man. Also, I saw my consistency earlier, and this will be my last point. If you oppose white nationalism, in order to not be ridiculously inconsistent and hypocritical, I would really like it if you were to denounce black nationalism and Latino nationalism and Asian nationalism. Like, I would really like it if you were to denounce the Black Panther Party, and if you don't, then I don't see how you're not inconsistent. I mean, both white nationalists and black nationalists are the same in that they want to protect their own cultural identity, or keep their cultural identity going. You know, although they're all black nationalists who are pretty. There's not much difference between some of the Black Panther types and Nazis, because there has been video of Black Panthers calling for killing white babies and calling for killing white people everywhere. And during the LA riots, some of the black nationalists were beating up white people because they're white. So, just to be consistent, if you're against white nationalism, I would also like it if you would also denounce all other forms of nationalism, including black nationalism and the Black Panther Party. And if you don't do this, I call inconsistency. I still don't want to join any sides. I just want to point out specifics. I like to be an impartial skeptic of everyone's videos, so I still don't want to join any side specifically, just pointing out these problems I see.